The creator of Claude Code, Boris Cherny, spends about $183,000 worth of tokens every 2 months. How do you compete as a software engineer? We always talk about how software engineering still has a chance and software engineers has a chance. But if you're not burning as much tokens, are you going to survive though? But Elvis, as a person who burns a lot of tokens, can you tell us more on how do you compete and just the general gist about him using like 183K of tokens? Where do all those tokens go to?
Yeah, no, that's a very crazy story. Well, as a founder, we talk about moats, right?
Yeah.
We have data, what data you have. We have distribution channels, what vertical you're working in. Is it new? But now we're talking about token spend, How do you compete when you're burning $20 a month and your competition is burning almost 200K, right? And if someone's burning 200K, they can copy any business,
Yeah.
Because they can just, the AI is running while they're going to bed and all these things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really tricky. A very tough time to be a SaaS entrepreneur. And what moat is safe at this point, except for data,
That's true.
and distribution, but it's really tough.
Yeah. One of the things that I loved from their setup is the use of using Worktrees, Git Worktrees. So usually when they're implementing like one feature, they set up like maybe 5 Git Worktrees and they implement them in parallel. Then you get to choose between these 5 to see which one is the best. And sometimes you can come to say, okay, let me combine these 2, especially if you're doing like UI work, which is so crucial. Even some backend work, which have like so many ways to do them, you then find which one is more efficient, which one uses less compute and things like that, which is interesting times to be faced.
You see, we talk about him and we just think of one person, but it's the whole team. It's just one person in the team burning 200K. So you can imagine a team of 30 engineers all having this token spend. It's ridiculous.
What do you think is the budget for Anthropic for tokens usage? Because they still have to pay for compute at the end of the day.
Yep. But hey, we also know that their models are smarter than the ones they give us.
Mythos.
Well, they're definitely pushing more than 50K lines of code per day as well.
No, you actually raised something which is really important. While we're talking about token usage, right, it's important to actually put a distinction because I've seen people who claim to push 100K lines of code a day, but some of the things that they are making isn't worth 100K lines of code. So, I think the market then becomes like distilled. This becomes like confusion. People now thinking that pushing so many lines of code or using so many tokens is the moat, but sometimes there isn't anything in terms of outcomes.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I think of two famous people. I think of Gary Tan and his 50K Gary Tan newsletter that got a lot of fire. And then also think of the CEO of NVIDIA saying, if your engineer is not spending
250K worth
of tokens. If you're paying your engineer 500K, right, per year, and he's not spending 250K per year in token spend, then he's not doing enough, That's just ridiculous. That's just him trying to sell you his product.
Yeah, that was him trying to sell GPUs and computes, nothing else. He just wants you to run those local models and you have to buy an NVIDIA chip.
Yeah, Jensen talking like he needs to pay rent, like he needs to sell those GPUs.
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of confusing things in the market, and I think as a startup or as a software developer, it's important to kind of filter out that noise.
Yep.
I think taking inspiration from people like Boris Cherny is important because they spend a lot of tokens and they produce good output.
Yep.
But people like Gary Tan producing 100,000 lines of code every day to produce a list of newspaper list is just ridiculous, and G-Stack as well.
Yeah.
So it's important to filter out whatever you're seeing on this social media to actually make it.
Yeah. People used to say ship fast, shipping fast is a moat, and at Meta they always say build fast, break things, ship fast, break things. And a lot of people have been saying in today's market, you want to like move slow and curate like your idea, your thought, have something unique, right? So focus a lot on the idea process, the creativity, the invention, and then go to create. So yeah, you can still be spending, you can have a budget of $20 a month and actually outperform someone that has a budget of 200K. So
Yeah. Yeah. Because 200K, while you are putting in garbage in, garbage in, garbage out. So 200K of garbage will just produce you 1 million of garbage. So, as software developers, as startups, let's see how we use these AI tools. Yeah.
yes, that was good.